Right, in today's video, I'm going to talk about the first 4 seconds of your run. This is what is usually referred to as acceleration and the transition out of acceleration. So, when you get into the blocks, your starting position, you have your entire weight into the blocks. The next 2 seconds after the gun goes, you're trying to overcome your weight and get some speed into your run. Now, in the first 2 seconds of your run, you want to come out of those blocks at a 45-degree angle. Now, 45-degree angle means this. You're kind of slanting. There's a straight line running all through there like that. It doesn't mean you come out of your blocks straight up like that. So you come out of your blocks and go up. That's not 45. Or you don't come out of your blocks and go like that because you have to keep low. That's still not 45. You want to be in between this and that, which is this. That's your 45-degree angle. You want to keep that 45-degree angle for 2 seconds. Now this is very dependent on how fast you are. In those 2 seconds, you may be able to cover 15 meters. You may be able to cover 10 meters. It depends on your speed. For most girls, those 2 seconds will be depleted after 10 meters. So in other words, you need to keep that 45-degree angle for about 10 meters. But let's not talk about distance, let's talk about seconds. So within the first 2 seconds, you're exiting your blocks, you're trying to overcome your weight, you are in that 45-degree angle. Obviously, you get your foot over the opposite knee and drive it down, holding the 45-degree angle. Now, what happens in the next 2 seconds? Remember I said I'm talking about the first 4 seconds of your run. That's the acceleration and getting out of the acceleration. What happens in the next 2 seconds is the transition out of the 45-degree angle. Now first, those next 2 seconds is a gradual movement from the 45, then you start going up gradually. So that by the end of the 2 seconds, you're upright in that position. So you have exited the blocks from distance 0 to where the 2 seconds deplete, you in that position, 45-degree angle. The next 2 seconds, you're trying to get out of the 45-degree angle gradually, slowly, like that. So at the end of the 4 seconds, you're upright. It's not a sudden getting out of that angle. You're not 45 and the next time, in the next 1 second, you are up. It's gradual. So how will you look if you're starting a 100-meter race? You want to get out of the blocks, you are in that position, and then gradually you begin to unfold. So that by the 4-second barrier, you're upright. For a ball, early for example, you probably hit those 4 seconds at about 35 meters. And for the girls, you're probably around 27 meters at 4 seconds. So what you're going to try and do when you're practicing your 30-meter runs, you're going to get your timer to time the first 2 seconds of your run and get a marker. Mark where the 2 seconds end. It could be 10 meters, 12 meters, or whatever. And then you will take another run and let the timer mark where your 4 seconds end. So what you're going to do when you practice your 30-meter sprints, you're going to try and hold that 45-degree position until the first mark. And once you hit the first mark, you're going to come unfold slowly. So that by the time you hit the second mark, your 4-second mark, you're upright. So on your program, when you see the 30-meter runs, they should be run in that way. In fact, we don't have to time them so that you don't have the pressure of trying to run a fast time. The only pressure you have is try and transition the right way. So you're accelerating for the first 2 seconds and you're transitioning, basically getting out of that position for the next 2 seconds. I want to show you something on the diagram, all right? So what I've just explained is you're starting here. Well, this is the ground. And this is the upright. So if you're standing straight, you'd be like that. And this is your ground. When you exit the blocks, you want to be slanting like that. That's what we call the 45-degree angle. You want to be slanting, right? That is called phase 1 of acceleration. It lasts 2 seconds. As you can see, phase 1, 2 seconds. After this phase, after your 2 seconds, the next 2 seconds, you're trying to get out of this 45. This is where your body is. You're trying to get your body out. Gradually, slowly, so that by the end of these 2 seconds, you're upright. The next phase, depending on what time you run, for your 100, you're supposed to be upright. So in other words, for example, a person who runs 10 seconds takes 2 seconds for the first phase and probably covers about, let's say, 20 meters. Let's assume they cover 20 meters. The next 2 seconds, they're getting out of that. By the time they hit 4 seconds, they're probably at 40 meters. Yeah? If they're at 40 meters within the 4 seconds, it means for the next 6 seconds, they're going to run upright to make their 10 seconds. If you're a 12-second person, it means for the next 8 seconds, you're going to run upright. But for the purposes of this video, and the period where we are in our season, we are more concerned with this part. We shall get into a point in time where